to legitimize their claims to use the mechanism previously followed as snipdeck to settle scores with Tehran. In reality, they have no legal grounds and procedural capacities. The Russian side submitted to the UN Security Council a thorough analysis that these claims are unjustified in terms of the snapback mechanism. China submitted its own interpretation. This topic is not new. Following the United States, the UK and the other European states have stepped forward on the pathway to refuse to implement the obligations of the Resolution 2231, depriving itself of using the instruments Berlin, London and Paris not only agreed to honor illegitimate sanctions against Iran introduced by the United States, but endorsed their own, especially contrary to the coming of the transitional period of the Joint Comprehensive Plan in October 2023. And these countries did not feel their blame. And shifting the blame on Tehran for disimplementation, non-implementation of the plan, Tehran cannot put a complaint into the UN Security Council, as it is provided for by paragraph 36 of the Joint Comprehensive Plan. Their claims that all, as they say, needed steps in this regard were took did not withstand the reality. The Joint Commission of the Joint Comprehensive Plan was not convened to consider claims of the Commission, and the Joint Comprehensive Plan with its paragraph 31, settlement of disputes, have not been implemented. It was also stated by the Russian ministry on the 24th of January 2020, to which our European opponents just forget. We have provided any other explanations during the reports of the UN General Assembly, of the UN General Secretary. The Western countries distort the sequence of events, and the European countries just once again just circumvent all the logics, because this is a true violation of the resolution. The Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, which was faithfully implemented by Iran, especially after unilateral withdrawal from the nuclear deal of the United States, Iran closed all the questions everyone had to him. And this is reflected, and it is very important, that the West Troika states do not realize this was incorporating the relevant decisions of the AIEA. And Europe just doesn't want to recall all these events. Likewise, all the problems related with Joint Comprehension Plan is due to the Western countries who impeded the restoration of the nuclear deal, although in December 2023 Iran was ready to it. So the dismantlement and the derailment of this Joint Comprehensive Plan cannot be a justification in order to blame Iran for withdrawing from the regime, although these requirements are irrelevant, apart from the attempts, a very destabilizing factor which undermines any efforts to search for negotiation solutions that can eliminate any suspects and with the due consideration of legitimate interests of Tehran. I think we need to prevent further escalation of the nuclear program of Tehran. In June this year will have severe consequences for international peace and security. These actions are beyond the legal framework and encourage other states to exercise abuse. Legitimate states of the parties of the Joint Comprehensive Plan, we condemn this position and we call them to revise their decisions, false decisions, unless they are led to the new tragedy. We are persuaded that this policy, due to confrontation, has no prospects. The main task of today is the resumption of a constructive dialogue between the parties involved, and such deep and concentrated collective search of solutions that would help us to avoid another crisis. The Western countries has a chance to make some value by supporting the Russia-China draft resolution at the UN Security Council. As for the technical delay for 6 months in the implementation of the Joint Comprehensive Action Plan and Resolution 2231, hopefully they will take this opportunity and realize all the responsibilities if they refuse to use the the pathway of diplomacy. Now is the situation of Ukraine, where the actions of the Western states are quite the same with the actions taken against Iran. The terrorist nature of the Kiev regime, maybe anyone on the West called it the way it is, and we see numerous examples on a daily basis. This is just an overall example of how the center of Europe forms a terrorist cell. The Kiev regime continues to commit terrorist acts against civilians of our country without complete ignorance of those who supply arms to it and funds it. In the last week, the drones hit about 140 civilians, among which 19 were died, including 1 child. 121 was injured, including 8 minor. These are just several facts of the crimes of the Ukrainian army. In Belgorod region on the 23rd of August, the drones in the settlement Rypihovka killed a civilian. On the 24th of August, in this settlement, drone attacked a church. On the 23rd of August, a drone which hit a car in the settlement Krasnaya Yuruga, injuring 2. In Saloti settlement, the drone hit a bus, killing 1 person. In Bryansk region, the security services said that eliminated the diversion group of the special forces of the Ukrainian army. 3 terrorists were eliminated and 3 detained. The combatants planned terrorist acts on the Russian transport infrastructure and admitted they were accomplices